And it's recording. Okay, so I'm back. Last time I was finishing up the last ridgepole log, which I have up there. And when I went to check the slant, it was a little bit short. So I decided to kind of do something that probably wouldn't be typical. I added a little short half log up on top, which is real small diameter. I needed about 2 inches to make it the right height. I will put the board up so you can see what I'm talking about. So this would be like when the roof goes on, it's going to go all the way across. I'm going to have to cut these logs off. But without that ridge pole up there, that last one, it was off about 2 inches. If you can see that, I didn't like it. So now it's pretty close on both sides and on the back. So what I'll do next, not today, but because I have to pin the logs, that's what we're going to do today, is pin the logs. But after that, I'll take a marker and mark along here, and then I'll cut these logs off at that point. They'll be cut off, and that way my sheet of plywood will go all the way across to the far end to put the roof on. But today I have to pin the logs because I need to take it apart eventually. And the other thing is that once I cut those at an angle, it's going to lose its integrity because the notches are what's helping to hold everything in place, and I'll be cutting off part of the notch. So I got a drill, a big long drill bit, and I have some spikes, an 8-inch spike, and I'm going to drill down through the top log into the next log. On the back, I did the back 2 already, so I'm going to do the front 2 here. And then I can start taking the top layer of logs off and then go to the next. Then I'm going to drill through here first, and it'll only come down to about here with this spike. Or maybe up there. And then I'll go to the next log and the next log and pin those. And then I'll have to put it all back together to cut those. I might, however, it's going to be kind of hard to cut those at a, stand on the ladder, cut them correctly with the saw at an angle. So while I have it apart, I might mark them first before I take it apart. And then when I have it apart, just cut those off at that point and then put it all back together. While I have it apart too, I might go ahead and cut those doorways and the windows like I talked about. But right now I'm just going to drill through those top ones and get those spikes to go in. So let's see if I can get you a little closer. You can see this action. The drill bit is just about the same width or thickness as this diameter as this spike. So I'm having to work it a little bit extra around to make it, oops, that didn't work, to make it, them go in without, and be able to get them back out. I don't want them too tight. So I'm going to do this. And I find that I'm kind of doing this crooked. Not intentionally, but No fear, I've got another one in the shop, so I'll go get that one and be right back. I'll pause you while I'm doing it. Okie doke, got her battery exchanged, and we'll see if we got enough power. Oops, I moved that log. Not a good idea. Not good to move the log. Okay, so you can see the length of this bit and the length of my spike. I have to go up to where all of the cutting part disappears. So I'm about up to here, and see how the spike fits in there. It's pretty tight. So down at the bottom I need to kind of round it out a bit. Good. I think at the bottom it just needs a little bit more. And I'm putting a little pressure on this bit, kind of, that way, but you don't want to overdo it because then you break the bit, so got to be careful. Let's see, I think that'll do it. Hopefully my log is still where it needs to be. Yep. Pull that baby back out. Okay, now got to do that side. Wasn't expecting that. Just came undone there. Okay. No big problem. I'll just get down here. Imagine it's pretty hot. Okay. Yeah, she needs about a bunch more. Hey, good fit. Okay, well that's it for the drilling on the top. So, oh, yep, I got them both. Now it's a matter of taking this and these off to get the next section done. And I think I'm going to mark those lines first with a straight edge. Something that's easier to handle than that big 2x6. So I'll go see what I can find. Be right back. Oops, I just realized you were watching that side instead of over here. Oh well. So you didn't see the drill bit fall out of the drill. Okay, so we'll back this up and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, it's been a few minutes here. I went ahead and marked the other side, the inside of the logs, and it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be because in some places it doesn't quite line up, but I'll mark these two sides and then I'll tell you where I have a little bit of a problem. So I'm using this, it's a little bit easier to deal with, a lot lighter. Line that up and then mark here, here, all the way down. Of course the pen is running out. Aha, new one. Now here I'm going to have to slide it down, and since it's touching on this log and this log, I'm in good shape. On the other side it wasn't touching this log, so when I took it off the top, it moved. So I had to put a shim under it and mess around with it. But here it will line up good so I can get on down to the bottom log here. So you can see where I'm going to have to cut that at an angle. The thing that I came across that was the problem is at the top, right here, that's going to go right across that nail I just put in. So no panicking, no, because once I take this apart, the nail won't be in the log. I can shear it off, and the nail will just sit down in it further. It won't be sitting on top. It'll be down here somewhere, and it'll still do what I want it to do. I won't have that problem on the next round because we're a long ways away from the edge here where I'm going to pin it. Well, I might pin it over here, but I could pin it in here too. Anyway, so no worries there. This side. Those marked, and that's where I'll cut those off. It's kind of a shame. I really didn't want to do that after all my nice notching, but in order to get that wood to lay across all the way, you kind of have to. Anyway, before we end this video, I want to talk about chinking. We have a lake up here locally that's called Marl Lake, and marl is the stuff that you use, or that the old timers use to chink cabots. And I went up and I collected some. I put a little teeny bit in the side of the log over here just to test it. So we're going to look at that. Okay, and see what it did. It's been several weeks now, and so we'll kind of see this little bit of marl here. We'll get up close. Oop, I don't want you upside down though, huh? I have to shorten the stand up. Okay, so there's the marl, and it's very brittle. See, I can pull it out, and it just kind of crumbles when it's dry. But you'd put it in thicker, of course, all the way, and stuff it way back into the crack. So it kind of sticks together. I'm told that the old timers used that. They didn't add anything to it. I was thinking of adding some straw, hay, or oh, now my brain doesn't want to work. I'll tell you in a minute. Anyway, but there's a cabin up there near where I got this, that's 100 years old or more, and it's still got the same chinking in it. They never did anything. It never fell out. It never cracked. So in a few days, Thursday anyway, I'm planning to go up and check that out. When I do, we'll do a little video. But I'm going to show you my marl that I have in my buckets. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. All right, so here's a bucket of marl that I collected. And this stuff has a weird consistency to it. This is kind of dry, but it's different than clay. It doesn't really even stick together very well, but it makes kind of a gooey paste. And it's really soft, I guess, and fine. Very fine. And I don't know if there's marl like this in any other part of the country, but Marl Lake has it. The whole bottom of the lake basically is got this stuff in it and makes a paste. So I did an experiment yesterday. The word I was trying to come up with was ashes. And so yesterday I took a chunk of the marl, and I added grass clippings, and I added stove ashes, and then I made a paste with it. Dump that out of there. And I made a paste with it like this. And this is really wet now, and kind of like mortar. And I experimented, and I put this little log wall or rock wall together with it, just to see what it did. It hasn't had enough time to really dry and cure, but we'll see what happens. So today I want to do a little bit more and just add ashes instead of the grass clippings. I'll just add ashes to it, and I'm going to put a few more rocks on here. So I'm going to set this thing up and go do that. I've got to wash my hands now, though. I want to touch the camera with muddy fingers. All right, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to add a little bit of wood ashes, and I don't want that much. I don't want to make too much of this stuff today, but about that much, and then I'll add about that same much tomorrow. It doesn't take much for what I want to do. Ashes are full of lye, so you don't want to handle that, get it wet, get it on your hands, it'll burn you. So just a word to the wise there. Okay, we'll head back over and get the marl. Okay, something weird's going on here. I don't know what.